What is a total deal breaker for you when dating? A girl who requests a guy with a sense of humor then brings nothing to the comedy table herself. Hey, I'm only as good as my scene partner. If you're noping all my bits, the fault lies with you. Inability to commit to plans. Time is the universal currency. It's something that everyone has and anyone can give, but it can never be reclaimed or made up for. That last bit makes time tangible and valuable. Never take it for granted and manage it wisely. They get angry more often than seems reasonable. Not necessarily at me, could be over anything. I don't want to be around someone getting randomly pissed off over life's little inconveniences. Needing her permission to do things without her. Sorry, but I don't need a third parent to tell me who I can or can't spend my time with. Pure pettiness. Can't stand it. For example, I recently, as in 2.5 months ago, came out had a bad divorce. It was pretty much done emotionally anyway, so I jumped straight back in the saddle. Second girl I took out for a date, Carrie, we went, on her insistence, to an Italian restaurant I hadn't tried before. Now I love me some Italian grub, so I'm up for it. That's when she decided she didn't want pasta. House mains was pretty much all pasta, so I suggested the osso bucco. Once she tasted it, she liked it. Then she called over a waiter and asked if X was here. He replied he was working the kitchen that night. Carrie immediately started complaining about the main, the entree and others, and demanded to see the manager to complain further. I was bloody embarrassed and confused as hell cause the food was really good. Manager rocks up. She unloads both barrels on him. This bloke took it all in. Anyone in hospo knows this pain. Calmed her meal as I was fine with mine, and we bailed after I paid the bill for the rest. She's smiling as we see the manager talking to one of the fellas in the kitchen. I ask her what was up. As I said, the food was really good. She told me that X was actually her most recent XO, and she just wanted to get him into trouble. Now I don't know either of them from a bar of soap, so I figured he must have been a PP head. We head to a bar she knows close by, one I actually knew quite well. We rock up to the bar itself to order as one of the bartenders immediately leaves the bar and grabs the manager. Now I know the manager Simon as I sorted out the contract for security, bouncers, there. Told Carrie to order for me. I'm just ducking to the loo for a quick slash. Go past the manager as the bartender finishes up with him. Sagdaj. Ask him if it's all good with his staff. Turns out Carrie hard dated the bartender to a while back, and he knew she was gonna be him out to Simon. He gave him a heads up. A lack of consideration. I've dated a lot of men, of the smart/nerdy persuasion more than anything, and the lack of consideration some can have is astounding. Let's see, my brother's 18-year-old girlfriend's response to being gently told she was getting a bit clingy was to get roaring drunk, threatened to smash everything he owned at her house and drive recklessly around the neighborhood. I'm gonna go with that being a deal breaker. It's a real head scratcher why he doesn't feel the same way. Doesn't say please or thank you. Always wants to go out or can't handle just being inside. Being overly negative or not making the best of a situation. Wants to see her friends and family more than me when she tries to escape from the attic. A lack of passion/hobbies. Let's say you meet someone and they say that they like movies, music, and TV shows. That's about the most generic thing anyone can say, save for maybe I'm a carbon-based life form. Now, if they would have said, I enjoy taking my grandmother to the senior Wednesday matinee showings of classic films, remixing Chopin, and hating on the Big Bang Theory, it's still movies plus music plus TV shows, but way more compelling. Do something that you think is interesting, and it'll resonate with others. Create stories for yourself that you can tell others. Overweight. I firmly believe everyone should live the lifestyle they deem best, but I make an effort to be in shape and expect the same from my partner. Not responding to texts. I'm deaf/HH, and it's pretty much my main recourse. If you feel like you have to hold back because you don't want to seem too eager, then you're not the one for me. Even worse, you aren't into me, and so don't respond in a timely manner. Make me laugh. I'm not your jester. A couple of things happened on 2 separate dates with the same woman. First date, takes a call at the dinner table and talks for 15 minutes, not kid related or I'm safe call. Second date, it was her birthday and we had plans to go out. She says her friends wanted to celebrate with her and asks if we can just do a group outing. When we get to the location, bar/arcade, she says the ladies want to break off and go to the bar while the men play games at the arcade. The ladies actually left the bar we were in and went to another bar across the street. I'm stuck there with 4 other guys who all know each other and are cliquish. They're all playing video games and I'm sitting there bored as poop. I was so angry I wanted to leave, but they were my ride. When we got back to her place at the end of the night, I told her I didn't want to see her again, and I went home. Apart from lying and cheating, seeking attention from others after a certain level of commitment, I'm a very attentive person, so there is no excuse for it after a certain amount of time. Just the insecurity and ego behind attention seeking is too irritating for me to deal with, and I start to feel like my time is being wasted and would be better spent elsewhere. I think I only had 2 relationships NBC of it, but still, that's my big pet peeve, I guess. People who don't reciprocate. These are people who want to be the center of your attention, but do little to nothing to give attention back. Worse, they'll often give little bits of attention or affection just to keep you engaged/interested, but never enough to feel like it's a mutually interested exchange. I haven't dealt with someone like that in quite a while now, but it happened a lot when I was younger and more naive. No one is worth running around for like a little puppy, and if you're putting in a lot more than you're getting back, it's time to nope out. Life is too short. This applies with dating and also social groups, friends, acquaintances, etc. Being manipulated into having fun or loosening up. I'm stoic. That's me. Deal with it. That's a deal breaker now. I used to put up with it, but the more people push me into losing my inhibitions, the more I hate them. I think any deal breaker should be enough for you to walk away. There's 7 billion people out there. Don't settle for less. Not in order, but you get the point. Not being considerate of someone's time. Rude to people, ESP. Waitresses. Complaining about spending $sign when we are out eating. Playing games when it comes to dating. How old are you again? Crazy exes that still have some emotional attachment for you. Constantly on their phone, but can't even text you a simple hi. Not emotionally stable. This is a huge red flag for me. View happiness through their success. Well, I'm done with dating now, but I can tell you what should have been my deal breaker every time. Clearly not comfortable with who they are or where they are in their life. This seems abstract, but you really know it when you see it, and it comes out right away. You ask them about what they do, or where they live, or where they went to school, and they don't give you a quick, straight answer. I mean, these are very straightforward questions, usually one-term answers, and do not require a lot of explanation. For instance, several times I dated guys who were in between jobs and living with their parents. This was a non-issue for me. What was the red flag was that some of these guys wouldn't tell me this when I asked. Edit. Not all guys who were between jobs were bad dates, just the guys who weren't dealing with it well. I say the same with guys who had recent breakups. That's not a deal breaker, but not dealing with it well is a problem when starting a new relationship. It's really difficult to have a healthy, satisfying relationship with someone who is deeply unhappy or conflicted about who they are and where they are in life, but aren't dealing with it. It's like trying to hit a moving target. There is nothing wrong about being in a bad place in life when you are dating. Sometimes meeting some great during this time is what really turns you around. It's how you deal with it that can be poison to a relationship. One time I was seeing this guy. He was a really nice guy and I genuinely thought he was really cute and cool, but the first time I went over to his house he offered me a drink and literally all of his cups were just empty pickle jars. I never saw him again after that. So I guess that's one of them. Well, I dated a girl once who said, if I had met you in college I totally would have used you and tossed you aside. I'm glad I'm someone different now. Except she wasn't. So I probably should have considered that a deal breaker. Has zero spine. I dated a girl whose modus operandi with anything difficult was to ask me for help. Hey, can you open this jar? Hey, can you get rid of those guys? Hey, can you go to Cardiff to talk to my estranged father? That last one was 2 weeks into the relationship. I like emotionally strong women. Yeah, I will help out if they need my help. I'll do that with anybody, but I won't help if it is something so boring or uncomfortable for that person that they think they can pawn it off onto somebody else because they can't be ducked.